Today is October 23, 2023, 5 o'clock, 34 minutes, Rio de Janeiro City, Brazil, embedded as a city, one of the more than 5,000 cities we have in 27 states, and all integrated or embedded as a unique federative unit named Brazil, unable to do simple things according with the legal system Brazilian and also the constitution. The defaulted right requested by this creditor representing the credit and all interest is a guarantee, but things shouldn't be like this forever, because we will have our movement today considering something like this. We will keep this way, we will keep this thing here, which is the relation debits and discretionary debits in the United States. We will erase this board here, not having paper, because it's relevant. Keep things, we conquer it as if what we did. The first thing we'll have today is the reading of everything we did down here. We will observe that we reported since October 19 the models offered to the International Criminal Court and the Antitrust Justice or any institution with internal problems. In general, you will have the misuses that goes inside the institution by specific misusers. Quite simple model. The misconduct go as a crime system considering all misguided institution and lead to the heads of this criminal movement as pandemic mobilization, doing a complementary relation as architecture, and it's a plagiarism against things we did. We will observe, and even if we did this after you had this mobilization, is illegal. You can claim your rights as something legal. So 20 was 1920, 21 systematic fail, not aleatory but intentional. Chicago School, new classic, rational expectations. With fake records, rational expectations will be frustrated by a movement inside institutions doing the record. If it's a state, it's named misconduct. Concrete case, institutional corruption and state crimes implies, it's an axiom, allow you to do a sentence. Criminals inside has no excuse. And so the silence about the orders, because the oligarchy and the judicial power go along with the criminal system. Using the sage, if you are not a square and you are inside an environment, it means that you are corrupted, at least as a judge, as a president, as the State Department chief, the chair number one, as premier or whatever, or a Congress chair. And this is the audit. 23 Monday. We are at this situation today. Offered conclusive evidence and proofs that internal fail gone by specific motivation and generally against main purpose or mission at the organization. But even after all pro bono effort kept inside an institution states. The pro bono effort was a self-defense against the aggression you did, but you exposed. Now, we understand how you got exposed. My dear criminal offender, I like you very, very much because you are the debitor, right? I will understand that I have 1 up to 200 blocks, but some of those blocks got corrupted, right? Right. The hierarchical distribution 1 up to 20, considering the money with the failure inside, indeed will give me at least white collar crime. Right? Right. You at this movement as a bubble that can engulf the G20 and finally try to engulf the entire global system, decided to hurt me as an individual or as an individual part of the consumer market. And I reply back because it's my right as individual, as consumer. And I put this entire piece of shit here inside a situation divided as public corporations. Both has institutional power under corruption as guideline. OECD talk with the antitrust justice has state on it corrupted, misused power. The Interpol talk with the International Criminal Court. They all some way will talk with me because, and with you, my dear criminal offenders. As I told, the relation is I'm here, I'm doing my complaint to a group that can receive this, and they will talk with you. Or a circle, corrupted. Right? Right. And you, guess what, decided to hit me doing something illegal. And then I request to you, as a filthy animal you are, present your reason about this aggression you did to the court or to the architect receiving the case. And you decided to lie by faking records, doing the defamation of this credit and the paycheck and the interest, putting we all as criminal, drug dealers, terror group, mobsters, white collar crime groups, never considering as victims, but always as criminals. The fake record you did as defamation is under the counterfeit directory Interpol. Observing the IoT you used to put me, for instance, in areas that I never had the interest as be, like, areas as below the things we consider normal. kind of criminal areas. Then we will have that the defamation you do is an aggression against me as individual, but you did using, for instance, the communication the way you did, and I apply also as consumer, right? Using our paycheck. The regression as hierarchical distribution. 1 up to G20. G20 we are charging this solidarity as purpose criminal, and corruption as collinear argument of you all. The workflow is always illegal because you did things in an area with no excuse to have these things made. But in any circumstance, we can consider a criminal inside the institutional state. Has no excuse anyway. So you lie. You lie. Right, my dear criminal offender? By this, it's obstruction. After have the procedural cognition of the court architectures, you do at least procedural fraud or false testimony. And the defamation. We can observe that indeed you have the range as variety of crimes by the same groups with new victims, which are other rights, not other people or group, for instance, but individual rights, rights of groups, rights of the entire mankind. You perpetrate crimes against mankind, my dear criminal system. You all regressed by the financial credit as research until institution divided and public or corporate, but both corrupted, with heads on it. Single question: which is the main head here? Criminal offenders at the Supreme Court, the presidential chair, inside the G20, or the big corporations? Now we will have the REIT at the block. You are doomed, and with a big debt on you. It's like this. We will have something here, which is the reading of the issues. The curious thing is that we always waste a big time to have things set because we suffer interference all the time, 24 hours a day, since at least 2014. Did you, criminal system, Brazil, probably operated as a criminal driver at the crime system as pandemic mobilization of crime, had stolen my data in the near past 2014, considering the investigation empty without purpose, issuing, for instance, as a sports fan, the strategy of something, because if you did, I probably noticed this, and I request an audit, and the audit could evidence and prove in the very first moment that you do not respect the Constitution doing interference at the administration of this sports entity that has an electoral procedure to pick the president, which will represent the tradition as Portugal. But you consider that you can run over this too. Why should we consider that you wouldn't do this at the electoral process as democratic system? Because indeed you did in a democratic system inside the sports entity. CGQ MOUTINHO individual victimized by misused power from institution and state combined as crime system on request to recognize and confirm defamation. Against these, all legal credit, intellectual effort, or academic research independent, having all and self-supported and motivated. Having all others issues complained also from here, variety of crime, same crime system, new victims, as new rights or guarantees violated, as systematical wrongdoing by the criminal group as organization. Number 2, request to consider listed names centered on procedures illegal and abusive, crossed with organized crime signed on budget, hearing artists, carnival, music groups, music and movie labels, media stream, promo artists, producers, and also committees or recognized authorities on FIFA, if they are alive, they can talk. Olympics or any other organization undoubtedly traced by criminal misuses at the power, like white-collar crime or corruption under hierarchy and specific functionality as complementary workflow, like budget financial system, contracts, and banks, as we use it at the wild data Tasha. But you violated this too, my friend, my dear criminal system. Requesting, number 3, and considering that's not happening not only in Brazil, requesting yet to consider the claim, guiltiness, and summary conviction of all activities ongoing, Blazing Act, as abusive procedures having the specific misuses of power, and this way generally setting systematic and continued misconduct oriented to do defamation as misperception and misconcepts by fake records or violated rights or reduced guarantees, an euphemism for suppressing, because it's white-collar crime that you are doing. We are unveiling this, part of the corruption that combined you all. Against this moral entity and interest, you are considering that you are criminals, terror, groups, or whatever. I think that you are committing a mistake. Including the single creditor sourced on law. All this side. The other side probably is against the law, as you could observe at the chart. Right? They do things in a clandestine way to be hidden or as the eye of justice. Please take a look. Risk Report 2022. 3 December.blogspot.com. You are not invisible. Proof. Campaign on fraudulent records from public department and related corporated peers or corporations. Number 4. Asked by our argument, notorious facts and valid proofs presented by law under constitutional conformity has won, but always under regulatory premise against the corruption and crimes, as self-defense and reply back. To consider full satisfaction of credit, just like other rights by this criminal system that indeed is regressed until many heads at chair level as domain and image. Using this paycheck, the housebound theory, credit research offered all facts are conclusive, an euphemism for notorious, and exposed as hierarchical criminal relation, database Sigma G20, Brazil in the center of the show. Organized crime groups at state or institutions has no reason or excuse to exist. It's kept also by silence, blind eye association. 20 minutes, but you will have a great week. I bet you do.